So, good day, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everybody who's watching this video. Welcome back to the channel, and we are doing some brakes on my wife's car today. Now this, just excuse my hand there, I need to get a better hold of the camera. So, this has been going in for a service. We paid for one of those deals with the dealership for free servicing. Well, it's not free because you're paying £100 for 3 years for free servicing. All you do is pay for the parts, and they keep saying the brakes need doing now. They wanted £480 just for the parts, the pads and the discs apparently, and I've got them for £70. So that just shows you how much profit margin they are actually on. And you can do things like this yourself if you've got a bit of know-how and a few tools. I've been doing stuff like this for years, you know, DIY mechanic, so it's not like it's beyond me. Anyway, so this is, well, it's technically a Renault is this car, so Dacia Duster, same thing like a Renault Kadjar or something along that lines. So it's all the same running gear. Anyway, that I digress from what we're supposed to be doing. Anyway, so check out this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and watch it to the end. And if you want to leave some comments, please be my guest, and we'll reply to them when we see them. So there you go, guys. Watch this video, and I hope you enjoy it. So these are the discs for a Dacia Duster or a Renault Kadjar, if you want to, because this is basically a Renault is the Duster. And you just need a few basic tools. You need things like this. So what I've got is a set of different torques. They just simply fit into a bit holder on your spanner there, but you need these to remove the two little screws, retaining screws here that hold the disc on. Now some cars don't have them, some are just held on by the wheel because they don't really need them, but they just hold the disc in place. I'm just putting these caps back on behind here, these dust caps. So you need to remove these dust caps here to get into there, and it is that Torx type of fitting at the back that undo the slide bolts, and then I think it's 19mm or 17mm there, I think, which one did I use? Anyway, I'll find that in a minute. We'll go around to the other side and get the other one done, but just to compare the discs. So there's still a bit of life left in that one, but it's a bit cruddy. You compare it with the other one. The other one's a lot thicker, isn't it? So might as well do the discs as well. They're cheap enough. These are obviously the pads that have worn extremely thin and need replacing. So I've done those. Just going to do the other side now. So catch you around the other side. So I've got the wheel off, and the wheel is over there. You have to hit them with a hammer sometimes, so might not be able to see this, but got a little light. You've got a couple of dust caps to remove, one there and one at the bottom. You'll be able to see that, and yeah, you should be able to just get your finger in, remove them like that. And there's the second one. So I'm using a magnetic tray just to put bits in. So you need to remove the spring as well. Just pull it out. Some grips, like so. Just pull out that. You can buy replacements. So then you need to undo the back. This might be a little bit tight, so be careful. There we go. Once you've got them loose, you just need to get a screwdriver in and push them out. They don't need to come out all the way, they just need to be clear of the threads inside the caliper bracket. And this caliper should come off in theory. You might need to tap it with a hammer just to loosen any rust, and just prise it out of the way. Like that. Now I'm just going to rest that there for a minute. And there you go, brake pad worn. So the other brake pad's inside there, attached to the piston, and I'm just going to leave that rested there for a minute. I'm going to put a bungee and suspend it once I've got it all off. So the next thing you need to do is remove these two. I don't know whether the video caught that, but we've removed the back section of the caliper bracket which was attached there. So that will go on there like that. So this goes on there like that, and once you remove that, you're ready for these. Now this is another Torx fitting, and these can be a little bit of a pain to do. So this just simply fits on there. Get your I'm just going to pop that back on a minute and wedge it in. Oh, the joys of vented brakes. So you might need to hit this. Like that. And then it should come off, like so. And there you go, there's the old brake disc. So get a good wet brush, and just going to put a tiny little bit of copper grease just around it. Make sure it's rubbed in. What this will do will make it easier if it needs to come off again. It's all that crud just stays in there. So you need to line the holes up, because these holes here are not exactly centre, so you need to get them in the right place, and that's right. So tiny bit of grease on it just to help it go in, and get the second one. Again, tiny bit of grease on it. Literally just put a small amount on. You don't want it smearing all over your disc. caliper back on. So I'm now wiping my fingerprints off the disc. Say the fingerprints, it's the oil. Get as much off of this as possible, and then you can just turn the disc like that and get this off like that. So caliper bracket, hairbrush. So we'll move on to the caliper now. Now we need to wind the piston back in. So there's a way we do this, and that is to use a bleeding kit like this. Let's turn the light off a minute, it's shining. So we need to remove this off the caliper. I'll do that. So basically this is a caliper winder, and it just fits in there to wind the piston back in. I've attached a 9mm spanner, and I've attached the bleeding kit, and the thing's just popped off there. So I'm just going to put that somewhere there for now and get that attached. So as I'm winding that, you should be able to see the fluid going through. Well, you probably can't now, but the fluid's now in this tube here. So that should stop any air getting back in. There we go, the piston's completely in now, so that makes it a lot easier to get your pads in, because otherwise you'd be struggling to get your pads in trying to do it. I mean, these are worn thin, so I'm going to get the other pads out now. So if you look at the difference there, there's a lot more meat left on that one. Is at least, what, half an inch, 10mm, 15mm, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a very good judge of distance. Yeah, there's not a lot of life left in these old ones. So there you go. So the front one can just pop back on straight away like that, and this one I'm going to shove these back. So that sometimes these are a bit things, so you just need to push them in a little bit. Like that. So it just goes in. we go. And then back on there. So it's sometimes a good idea just to again pop a little bit of copper grease where the pads meet. Just rub it in, smear it in. You don't need loads because obviously these are brakes, you don't want it to be splattering all over your brake disc when it's going round. So you don't put loads on, it just stops it squeaking, that's all. And when you've got it on, you just need to get it into position, pull the locating pins out if you need to. Give it a bit of a tap if you have to. Last but not least is the spring. You just need to get it in the holes like that, push it in, and then pull the spring over the top like that. Give it a bit of a tap if you need to. Make sure it's in correctly. Right, so copper grease up there. Don't forget, knit these up. Now one of the things about these is they do twist, so you have to be careful with them, and they do break, so it's worth having some spares if you've got some. So I'm just going to wipe. So there's no contaminants on the disc. These are just normal wipes, by the way, but they are very good because it evaporates what's on them. So yeah. Right, last but not least, but don't forget to put the caps back in, the dust caps. So there you go, that's the brakes on. So all that's left to do now is make sure that they work. Now hopefully, because of the way I've done it with the bleed thing there, you can see the fluid inside. We shouldn't need to bleed them, but I do have a little gadget for bleeding them as well. So I'm just gonna, but first thing I'm gonna do is check the brakes and make sure that they're working. So there we go, I think they're alright. I've just tested the pedal. The pedal's got quite a lot of pressure in it. Make sure I put the caps back on, there and there. Topped up the fluid here because obviously there'll be a bit to replace what's come out already, and should be good to go. So I'm going to put that on there like that. And then I'm just going to put the wheels back on and hopefully it'll be alright. So that's one way of doing it without having to bleed the brakes, is to use the, so yeah, there's plenty of pressure on the brake pedal there, so that's good, isn't it? This is a Dacia Duster or a Renault, and that is basically how you replace the brakes and discs on it. Fairly simple job with a few spare tools and maybe an hour or two, depends if you're doing a video or not, like me. Takes a bit longer. Anyway, there you go. Hope you got something out of the video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in another video soon. Thanks for watching, guys.